Alright guys, you're welcome. You're still watching eWeekly, and I told you this is one episode you sure don't want to miss. If you've missed any episode, like I said earlier, this one you can't afford to miss. Okay, we're kicking off with our exclusive interview. And guess what? I'm honestly not going to tell you anything about this person. Why? Because you need to sit back and enjoy this interview, and I'll be right back.
He said, do not live your lives in fear, for he will always be by your side.
I hope God forgives you.
The acting business has given a voice to several young adults in the country. This is the story of a graduate of University of Calabar, model and now a full-time actor. Eyin Anigwe has raised eyebrows with the movie Hell or High Water. He has rubbed shoulders with Hollywood actors in Black November, and he rocked the box office with the movie Wedding Party. He sits with us this week on eWeekly Meets.
As an actor, I believe we're here to shift and shape perception the most we can, lending ourselves to being different people in different situations, you know, and for me it's always an honor to have always been through my career involved in socially relevant conversations, and no better time to have this conversation concerning our political system. You know, so it's always a privilege, and all passion always comes through when it's right. So Fourth Republic is one of those kind of films that has to do with our electoral system. You know, everything that happens on the campaign trail, you know, the engine room of politics. No better time, like I said, than now that we're getting a bit more aggressive in the conversation as to, you know, voters registration, participation, trying to cut out, trying to reduce voter apathy, you know. And I like to say, whenever I think about Fourth Republic, and how almost spot on it was with predicting the elections that happened this year, even though the film was made last year. There's so many, that's pretty much, there's so many areas in Nigeria where what we captured in the film, things happened there. The fire, yes, the fire, you'd said this, the youth coppers and all the violence, ballot box snatching, everything. It was like really to the T. So I like to say I'm happy it's coming right after the elections, because it could have worsened voter apathy situation. Because if people had seen that before elections, a lot of people won't want to step out and vote, you know. But then the stories have to be told, and Fourth Republic has that. And beyond,
I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
What did happen for that place?
Please leave. You come on for before you chop bullet. Hey, please, everybody, please.
19 people died, and they all died for nothing. The way he died, I don't accept it.
I want justice for your father, but we just have to make sure we find the best way of doing it right.
inspiration comes in different forms. You know, this is one man's inspiration as a director that is detailed and how he wants to capture it. And not all directors are as bold to touch certain conversations. You know, we have the radical ones and we have the ones that just want to have fun and make creative entertainment pieces, and that's okay. You know, so we all represent different things, just like talent as well. Some talent wouldn't touch certain stories or conversations, some would. I find myself a bit more drawn to the ones that, you know, those ones that have conversations going in the background. Let's bring it to the fore. We can't be talking about people and their behavioral patterns and there's no one representing them in picture and a story to show that these are really human. So we humanize these conversations, you know. So I also don't mind those kind of ventures, you know, and this is just one of those ones. And yeah, a lot more are coming, you know, with the power social media has given and new media, people are becoming a lot more daring. Before now, you would have to have the okay of the media organization, or you know, to sell certain stories, and most of them could be run by the government or, you know, held down by the government in one way or the other. So certain things are sieved out, you know, but with new media, you can, what's that would happen, you're banned, but then you become more valuable internationally because people will pick it up and have the conversation now that you've put it out there, you know. So I think, yeah, some will not touch it, but they will.
If you do not change your ways, the people will rise.
You cannot blame me for your government.
There has to be a better way.
My people are dying.
I don't have an answer to that because my first yes or no starts from the first 3 pages when I read it, how it makes me feel. Going further, once I start to see it clearly, like I was living through it while reading it first time, I know if it's for me or not. You know, so boundaries, you know, it all depends on what you call boundaries. I've done quite some other films that I only realized during the premiere that 5 actors had turned down, but on the first offer I did it. You know, and I owned it, and I'm like, yeah, someone has to represent those people in conversation, and that was a gay story. Yes, Hello High Water, you know, so there was no sex in it. It was just about a real human being that had that conflict sexually from childhood through. He was a great guy, a pastor, took care of the youth, had a family, a wife he loved, he had a child, but then he was still drawn to that thing. So is it spiritual? Is it biological? Is it, did he pick it up as from orientation or foundation levels? Was he influenced into it? Those questions, everybody has different answers to that question, but no one is coming together to say, let us humanize it. These people have lives beyond the sex, you know, but what is the other side? Are they good people there still, regardless of their, you know, who is perfect? You know, what is your hold your ground, you know, let's have a conversation. I'm not endorsing anything, but I am giving myself to representing that one person that has all of that conflict going on.
What are you doing here?
My heart belongs to you.
Oh God,
I always follow my heart and I do things on my terms. Yeah, the thought came through about the backlash, but it didn't make me say no. I knew it will come, but then we're here, we're talking about it, and it's what it is. I'm an actor. You know, if you want to believe what you want to believe, if you think I shouldn't represent a pastor who has, but there are people out there, and all, you know, stone him, kill him. People are stealing and people are dying in the hospital out of other crimes people are committing, and no one is saying anything, and we're celebrating them. You know, so certain things, it has to be balanced. You know, and we also have to see where the world is and where the world is going and understand how best to align. And this is a very big conversation. IBB, Badamasi Portrait of a General, where I play Babangida himself, you know, capturing everything that happened in the time and giving answers to questions being asked that he hasn't responded to, where I had to shave, learn the accent, learn a little bit of the Hausa language, get into the man's mind. We are not ready to start talking about, you know, all of that or giving out what my performance level is and all that. So, but this, I can tell you, you could see pictures if you want.
For more about the Screen Hunk and playing IBB, stay tuned for the next part of the exclusive interview next episode.